Co-optional, watching them do it. I don't have anything related to sex games or flirting, so I just put something witty in the title. You may get going or something. Yeah, we watch a lot of people do it. So we made this game. It was called Mercury Shift. It was a shitty 2-player flash game, and a 2-player flash game is a bad idea because you have one input, which is the keyboard, which is limited to 6 buttons, which is pretty not enough for a game. But the thing is, it was picked up in China because people apparently play video games in China in front of a screen in pairs of 2. So still China plays the game. About 8,000 people a day. We don't know why, though. So the thing was, we wanted to make a game that was for 2 people only. So 2 people had to play the game. So we thought about things that only 2 people could do, not one person or a very strong person. So that was something like pushing something heavy. A strong person could also do it, but 2 people is easier. Throwing and catching. Reaching somewhere higher. We all know like the cookie jar, and you have like a bigger brother who will help you up to the cookie jar. And carrying something. Or, that was the easy way for a game designer, is solving a puzzle that was built for 2 people. Like a button puzzle that 2 buttons have to press at once, which is a cheap thing, but it works. So these are the characters in our game. They're called Bismo and Plum, and the main mechanic is they can shift. So you have like one player is big, they shift, and the other player is big. And you cannot do that without affecting the other person. So this is the core gameplay, and not only a physical appearance change, but also the bigger player is stronger, he can pick up the small player, and he's a bit slower, but also he's heavier. And you can build a lot of like things coming from that. But the interesting thing was, should we force cooperation? So we have a game, and should we take out all the bad things 2 people can do and just let them do good things? Like Genova Chen said, if you want people to play together, you have to like get rid of all the things where they can negatively interfere with each other. So there is no way they can, like in Journey, there's no way you can fool somebody. They had a pushing mechanic, but they put that out because people just pushed each other off the cliffs. Which is a very logical thing in games, but they wanted to have like a very likable experience. And we went to let that in because we are a local co-op game. And that's, I think, the main point is, in local, that doesn't happen. So people are actually pretty decent when it comes to local multiplayer. What happens when 2 strangers play our game? It is good. Because strangers are generally, in Germany, very, very polite. They see a problem and they approach a problem very, very, let's say, technically. So there was a lot of discussion involved. People started, so how do we solve this? What's your approach? Oh, I've got an idea. And that was working out really well. 2 people were playing it, they didn't know each other, and they played really, really good. They started communicating from the first second on, which was amazing for us, because we thought, okay, this could turn out like really bad. They could just like mash each other and don't like the game. But it turned out really good. And especially in Germany, getting people to talk to each other is pretty like, this is hard. Also, they split bounty, which is, we do have coins in the game, which you can just get, and if you die, you lose half of the coins. Your mate can revive you, and you can take all the coins before he's revived. And so they actually deliberately died to give coins to their partner, which was something we didn't think would happen. But with strangers, yes. Friends and couples, no. Friends and couples are very bad at communicating. You wouldn't think so, unless you are in a relationship, maybe. That was something we didn't think would happen, but strangers would communicate from the first second on, and couples wouldn't. They wouldn't say a word. They would play the game for 3 minutes until one of them died, and the other one urged them to revive them. But like, not even in a very friendly manner. It was more like, if you don't revive me, I will quit the game or something. Yeah, so that was really weird. They get in fights, but actually they enjoyed fights. So it was something, accidents happen. So sometimes somebody dies in the game. And then another person can walk up to it. They could revive them without getting all the coins, but most of the time they got the coins and then revived them. Which was something like, why did you take my coins? And then it got into a huge fight, and people were like really, really angry. And there was, I think, I don't want to lie, but I think we broke up a couple, which is It was sad, but also so many people got into talking each other. So I think we made some couples and we broke some. It's okay. It evens out. Things we took away from making a two-player game and putting all these two-player, like these only two-player things in was for a local multiplayer game, things like tutorials are very easy. Because if one person understood it, he will explain it to the other person. So tutorials are more of a let's figure out this together, which is seriously awesome for tutorials because sometimes you're stuck with how do I explain this even. But with two people, it takes less time to get through the tutorial, which was really good. If you're making a local multiplayer game, we also have a network mode, but it's sad and it feels weird because if you're playing together, you have like instantly plus 50% fun. And also with a bit more glitchy physics-based gameplay, it's another plus 50% fun. So you instantly get a good game with like local multiplayer. Make it local multiplayer and a bit glitchy, and you should have a okay game at least. Also, two people will have more fun because they laugh easier. So if somebody like, did you watch a movie of like a sweet cat on the internet? The time you're typing lol and nothing happens is like pretty high. But if you're together with two people, people actually laugh. So interaction is way bigger if there's multiple people in the room. Because if you are laughing at something alone, that's pretty sad and silly. But if it's two people, it's okay. So that works also for multiplayer. We have a single player in it, but it's way more puzzly. So you have like you can play the game alone. You have to switch between the characters, but it's a very puzzle-based game then, because you don't have the glitchy parts. You don't have the cooperation because you control both of the players. Yeah, and that's basically it. Oh yeah, that's like super not important. Or you just want to have a beta build of the game. I do have it with me. I do have the prototype with me. You can play it here if you want. And that's it. I probably hand over to questions if there are any. I do have gameplay footage, I hope, if you're interested. I would just like... Gameplay footage. Footage. Where is it? Footage. Footage. Where's the... Oh god, I think it's on different... Do I see it? No. I'm so sorry. Maybe I will... Oh god. Are there any questions? Yes. Go. Just go. Go.
The question is, so you said you recorded your players. How exactly did you do that? And the question is how many and how did you evaluate? Did you look at all the videos?
So we did invite people for user tests, but mostly we just put a DSLR in front of the screen and recorded like the footage from the camera and footage from the video. It's from the game, from the screen, like simultaneously, which was a huge effort, but it works out really well because you can actually see where people are looking, which is usability-wise, it's great because you actually know do they get it on a very technical level.
How many?
It was about 50 sessions. It's half of it. I think it's 500 gigabytes of footage.
Was it as user test for the game?
It was more or less a user testing, yeah. And for the Flash game, we just used Google Analytics with certain trigger points. So we could see, like, the biggest user testing were about 15 million Chinese people playing our game. And we now know that it doesn't work. But, yeah. We do know it for a fact.
But you didn't video record it?
No, that would have been very complicated. But, no, we didn't. All right. I don't have footage. I'm so sorry. All right. Thanks.